What's going on, brother?
Hey, Devil Time.
Back again for a little Shudder original called Late Night with the Devil. And
Devil
just
Time.
heads up, Devil Time. This will be a spoiler review. So if you have not checked this movie out, we highly recommend going and checking this out. It just came out last Friday on Shudder, or this past Friday.
Yeah, it was in the theater for like a week or two.
Yeah, it was in there for more than that. I'd say about a month, honestly.
Yeah, it said made something like $11 million at the box office.
It's starring David Dasmashalian, or however you pronounce it. The guy, Mashalian. It's. I wonder how they pronounce Mashalian, because that's the guy from Polka Dot Man and Suicide Squad. He does a lot of stuff.
He's been in a bunch of stuff.
He was in that recent Stephen King's The Boogeyman, but this is like his first full-fledged lead role. So glad to see him, because he actually is a great actor. I actually really like him, and I think he was absolutely perfect in this part. This is definitely, obviously throwback to 70s, that time in the 70s. It even has that full frame look to it.
It's a found footage movie.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I think I like how they started off. Yeah, it's the way they throw it is it's a lost.
It's a documentary that's being made about this, and the documentary
it's a lost television episode broadcast that was never aired, and now they're showing it, and they give you they give you a little bit of info on what's his name, Jack Delroy. I keep wanting to say Harlow, but that's a freaking white rapper. Jack Delroy. They give you like a little inside of him before, and they talk about
and every time you see it in color, that's the show, and then when it goes to black and white, that's the behind the scenes that you didn't see.
Yeah, but cool. I mean, dude, I think
it nails the 70s. I mean, if you go back and watch those old Johnny Carson shows, they nail the feel, the look of those old 70s talk shows. I mean, they nail it.
So I guess he did a lot of research too, and he was watching a lot of, because obviously they talk about Johnny Carson a lot in this, that he that Jack is the number 2 and he keeps falling short of Carson. He's doing everything he can. They bring in all this, that is he in this cult that does these weird sacrifices to try to get more popular. They're like, but he's still number 2,
and they spoon feed you throughout the movie little hints of what's going on.
Yeah, and they throw hints of like that. All those stories everybody hears about people in Hollywood selling their soul and having these weird parties and satanic rituals going on to try to get bigger and big, bad, rich. You know what I mean? But
yeah, I mean, yeah, and we ultimately we find out that Jack is the guy who's responsible for his wife's death through cancer because he basically sold her soul to become the number one guy, and she died because of him. So,
I mean, I don't really remember that being a fact.
Yeah, that was kind of stated. They showed that that's a whole what the end is about. That she was being held, and that
because the ending went over my head a little bit,
too. And that the one haunting him is portion of being haunted. They show her face in some of the thing.
Yeah, well, they say there's that one thing where they like skip through and like the wife is behind him with her hand, like so she's been like and she's supposed to be the one who that like first medium comes out and he's like when he's screaming he's like somebody answer and he starts throwing up black blood. So yeah, I guess I actually went to go as soon as I watched this, man, because I was locked in on this, man. I enjoyed every minute of this movie. As soon as I was done with it, I went to watch Rebel Moon 2. What a downgrade compared to this, man. But then I went to go and rewatch this again. I got halfway through, and then I was like, I'm going to watch something else. I love this movie.
The fact that shows the movie that everything in the movie was bullshit except for the little girl and the devil that's inside her. Yeah, that's the only thing in the movie that was real. I mean, when they go through that guy brings up the hypnotist and it shows how the audience was hypnotized. The guy was hypnotized to see the worms. None of that really happened. But
the medium was real.
What's that?
The medium was real, and he died on the way to the hospital.
Yeah, he was. But that was because of the little girl. He was bullshit too.
That was crazy too, the way he hypnotized. But I think, the little girl shit was real.
Was real because it showed when it went in and it showed that the footage. She was the only thing that was on the footage.
Exactly. Yeah, they like still that. Show. Yeah, where
everything else was bullshit.
Where I thought that because I love that guy. What was his name? Who was that? Is that was his name Carmichael Haig or which one was that? Yeah, I think that's him. His name is Ian Bliss in real life, but he played Carmichael Haig. And he makes that little nod to the Warrens from like The Conjuring and all that.
Right.
And you remember he says he's like, "This is me outside the Amityville Horror." He's like, "I invited the Warrens." He's like, "But they scare too easy," or something. Yeah, I really liked him and how he was just kind of like, he's one of those where he says, if you can prove that, that the paranormal, this is real, I have a check for $500,000.
Right.
He's like, I've offered it up 100 times.
And he offers it to the devil there too. The devil don't want it.
Right.
Burns it up.
But yeah, I thought, because at first, once he does, he's like, let me show you how she did it. And when they do that, I was like, holy shit. I actually thought that was great, like how he hypnotized the whole broadcast, the whole crowd and all that. But then when they do the rewind, because at first I was like, holy shit, is this fake now? Like, did she really just, fake everybody? And then they rewind it and all that. But, oh my God, man. Like,
yeah, the girl effects when she turns into the devil and the head splits, that's the best thing in the movie.
That is so good.
I mean,
and some people I feel like might think it's a little cheesy, but it's 70s, and that, you know what I mean? Some people might like, but you got to understand.
Some of the effects, you can tell they were cramped for money. Like some of the effects
weren't that trying to go for. They want it to look a little cheesy.
But I could overcome some of that, like when she twists the head and some of that. Right. But that didn't really be added into my disapproval of it or not.
Right.
Obviously, the worms were the best effect in the movie.
Yeah, that was great. But I like too. Well, I'd say the worms, and then when her head splits open. But that has CGI and practical effects going for it,
I think my only complaint in the movie is I think I would like the girl is great and she gets introduced and then she's kind of put in the background for a little bit. I wish there was a little bit more with her because she was really good. The young girl that played the devil.
Yeah,
Obviously, there was it happened. She was great, but yeah, I mean, it was such an interesting, different type of movie. Like it plays
yeah.
as a found footage. It plays as like a possession movie. It plays as like a '70s retro movie. It's done really well.
Oh,
You know,
definitely, definitely. Yeah, I just thought honestly every single person knocked it out the park. I like his little side guy, was Gus McCall, the
right,
guy who rips the worms out. I thought he was fantastic. Yeah, Mr.
Mr.
Wriggles.
Wiggles.
Uh, oh, because he wriggles his way in and out of my head, you know. Um, but dude, I just thought everybody knocked this out the park. And if you've seen any of the VHS uh like anthologies, they actually really get that good like 70s, 80s shot on film vibe.
Right.
So when they did this, I was
Really
like,
shot on
damn,
video. Really.
like, well that that this also
Yeah.
has that too though. You know what
Right. It
I
does.
mean?
Yeah.
But this is the best, and I
They
didn't even know
purposely
this was shot in
degrade the picture
Australia.
to make it look bad.
Right.
That's why we discussed, I don't think this movie really matters whether it gets a 4K or a Blu-ray because of the way
No.
they intentionally
I want a Blu-ray at least.
downgrade
I don't want just a DVD.
the footage on it.
But I
But
would love a steel book on this.
but this was a co-production between the U.S., Australia, and the United Arab Emirates, and that's why up here it was Shudder. Down there was Umbrella that put it out. So
Right.
they'll probably get a nice Umbrella box out of this, at least if nothing else,
Yeah.
since they kind of co-produced it.
I wonder if they'll do a 4K or just a region B, or if it'll be a region free Blu-ray for them. I'm curious because
Tuca Pedro says, "I want the VHS." I wouldn't doubt this is going to get released on VHS.
that would be awesome.
There's a company that puts out VHSs of movies. I got
Right.
Terrifier on that, and I
Yeah.
wouldn't put it past them to do this movie on VHS.
I would love a VHS on this as well.
I wouldn't put it past them.
But yeah, the Welcome to the Late Night with Dylan, man, dude, hell yeah, we should do a Welcome to the Late Night with Dylan and start that. That'd be sweet. But
yeah, except there's gonna be some fucked up shit going on in that one. Let me tell you.
But I had straight up said, man, because I had not seen Abigail yet, which I just saw that Sunday. But I told Two Gun, and I think I told you as well, this is my favorite horror movie of the year right now. And I still might even put this a little bit over Abigail. I really fucking enjoyed Abigail, which I'm hoping to do maybe like a little solo review, unless you end up going to see it in the next couple of days. Which I don't think you will, because I think you're just too busy right now. But yeah,
I would say so
love,
far this is probably the best I've seen so far this year.
Yeah, almost best movie too.
The year is young though, so
well, that too. But this will definitely be in top 5, top 10 for me right now. I know this is. I really think this will stay in the top 10 at the very least, because we do have a lot of good stuff coming as always. I think horror is definitely in the midst right now, and we got a lot of good stuff coming. But was fortunate to see this with the writers directors premiere. Oh, this is the writers directors premiere. Wow, they say it's not real nor real surrealism. It's not decided to be fantasy nor fantasy. It's just meant to deal with the cancer, death, and wife hell. Oh. Yeah, I want to dive in and watch some interviews on this. I hope.
Yeah, I mean that definitely plays a big part in it. That she's kind of that's kind of tied into the whole thing,
right?
Because that's what's the back end of it's more or less about.
Yeah, because RLJE usually does the Shudder Blu-ray, so I hope they do some decent special features. It's always hit or miss. Some movies get a good amount of special features, and then some get like one, maybe, or some get none even. I think Glorious didn't have any, which that's a fucking great movie. But this is one of the best Shudder original movies that I've seen them do, in my opinion.
Yeah. If you go back and watch those old Dick Cavett shows, right, or Mike Douglas, a 70s talk show.
Yeah, well,
it really picked up the vibe of that.
Dashmalian said that he was really inspired by like an Australian talk 70s talk show host. I'll have to go back and see which one he said in the interview, but he said that specifically there's a very zany 70s Australian talk show host.
Well, you gotta watch it, but this reminded me a lot of a show from the 70s.
Oh, that Fern show.
Fernwood Tonight or America Tonight with Martin Mull. And who's the other guy, the side guy that was in Best of Show? The guy that's always in those fucked up movies. Fred Willard. Fred Willard,
Yeah.
Martin Mull
Yeah.
was in a spinoff of an old 70s comedy from Norman Lear called Mary Hartman. It was a spinoff that was a talk show. And that talk show had all those 70s tropes. And this really reminded me of that. So, I mean, it nailed the 70s talk show great. I love it. Every time they went to break and stuff, they had little slides up. They did that so well.
Hell yeah. I kind of like the little breaks we got in between, like from like, because normally those are commercial breaks. Those are commercial breaks for like, normally. But I liked how it was like a little chill moment, and you'd see like the backstage and Dashmalian dealing with his like anchor guy, and he's like,
his producer.
His producer, yes, thank you. And I thought that was hilarious, because he's the big part in this is that, like I said, he's always number 2 to Carson, but if they show him the thing where it's like he's like in the top 100, he's like 67. So this is like after his wife died, his show really starts to go downhill, and he's really trying to make that run for it and do this fucking crazy ass Halloween show. And that producer, what is it, Gus? And they keep messing around because Gus keeps saying, he's like, you're gonna stick with the script, right? And he's like, yeah. And then they start doing all this crazy shit with
all that stuff at the end where you're going, you're number 1 and you're the 20/40 share. I'm not sure any of that was real at that point, but
right. So, that whole ending and stuff, like, what did you take from that ending? Because the ending goes, like, full screen. That's the only part where it goes, like, it takes you out of the settings where it's
I think that was him ascending into hell, as Scare Terror said. I mean, basically,
that's what
it's him going into hell,
right.
Seeing his dead wife, talking to her, paying the price for his fame, and then being led out by the cult guys to basically go into hell. And his hell is going to be, I think, just bouncing back and forth between all the failures of his life. I mean, they showed when he was in hell, they showed all those scenes of like his show that he was redoing them, reliving them.
Yeah.
So that I think is going to be.
Which a lot of people I've seen them do that in movies where hell is your personal like failures over and over and over.
That's basically what it's going to be. At least that was my interpretation of it.
And they'll say heaven is your greatest moment.
But the last part of the movie, though, is back in color on a set, and everybody's dead around him, and you hear the sirens.
Uh-huh.
So ultimately, he's going to be taken away and probably, rot in jail. But in his mind, he's reliving this nightmare over and over.
Yeah, because I was like, in some way, I was like, dude, I would have loved like a sequel to this. I don't know if it's possible, to be honest. Like, I
don't know what you would really do. His story's over with. His ass is going to jail.
True.
He's
plus, it's just better as a one shot, but it's just
definitely.
There's so, like you said, with like the cult stuff. Like I don't know. I thought
they could have went into that a little bit more, but I think it's kind of nice they left out vague.
Yeah, I like that. Like back in the 70s, 80s, they didn't always explain everything.
Right.
They left some stuff up to thought. But Carpenter was always like that, where he liked to leave some stuff up to thought, and I always like that. And nowadays, everything is just so spoon fed into everyone's mouth. Where what was it? Kubrick even made that line where his English cut was a little bit of The Shining was a little bit more straightforward, and he had to spoon feed us Americans. You know what I mean? You remember we were talking about that?
Yeah, not everything has to be spelled out in the ending.
Exactly.
A lot of it was style. A lot of it was.
Because I'm the type to watch a movie a few times and dive.
This one is definitely one to catch more than once.
Definitely.
Definitely.
And I can't wait to dive into some movie reviews and theories and just see what other people have to think about it, because I actually really haven't dove into many
Well, the
reviews.
girl was saying, when the girl first came out, she was spoon feeling like she said that there was the him and the psychiatrist having an affair that
Right.
started before his wife died.
Mm-hmm.
And and all the stuff and all the stuff, the cult stuff, and I met you at the Grove, she said, which is where the cultists were and all that. So there's all sorts of that stuff sprinkled in the movie if you listen to it.
Which the girl actually did really well. I wasn't sure how.
She was great. She was excellent. She was really good.
I think that her part could have really went bad if you didn't have the right little girl play that role. You know what I mean? I think that really could have went.
I love that they even had the no, I don't know how familiar you are with, like, have you ever watched like Johnny Carson and stuff like that? But you've probably seen
Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon. And who was the guy before? Who was after? Who was the guy came after Carson? I forget his name now. The guy that owns all the cars.
Who?
The comedian that owns all those cars that came after. You know who I'm talking about, guys.
Regis?
Not Regis. The guy took over for Carson. Why can't I remember his name? He was on there for 15,000 years. The big guy.
Sure if somebody says it, I'll know too, but I can't think of it.
I am brain dead. Jay Leno. Fucking Jay Leno. Yeah. You know, if you watch Leno, he always had, and so
I've seen Leno.
All the guy comes out in the zoos and stuff with the fucked up animals. I love how they had the girl there with at the end and thing with the big slug, the big worm thing. So basically saying that he's gonna live with the worms now. You know, that thing. That was great. So they had some good practical effects in this too, I thought.
Yeah, great. Yeah, Scarefear said that you guys loved this and did this. Thank you. Of course, man. Yeah, I was dying to do this. As soon as I finished it, I called Scarpet and I was like, "Oh my god, bro, you gotta watch this and we gotta talk about this." So yeah, this was a must, man. And I'd been waiting for this because I actually planned to go see this in theaters, but I'm glad I waited because I still would have liked to maybe see it in theaters.
I thought it would have been cool if it didn't play at all around me. Not at all. So
it didn't?
No, not at all. Not one showing. No.
Mine had like 2 showings a day, so that's why I didn't go, because it was hard during it was either like they had 2 super late shows, and I usually try to catch it like right after.
Well, I think they're finding that these smaller, ever since Smile came out in 2020, that these smaller horror films are doing really well in the theaters.
Yeah.
I mean, enough because they don't cost much.
I wouldn't, because Smile was Paramount. That's a big studio. I'd say Terrifier.
Right, even so, that was still kind of a small movie for them, Paramount, even though it was Paramount.
I guess, but Terrifier is what really did it, because they kept coming back. Remember, they made a bunch of money.
Well, and then the Nun after Terrifier was the Nun. The Nun did well.
Oh yeah. But Terrifier 2 was a super limited release, and they made a bunch of money, and then they came back 2 or 3 times with limited releases and just kept making.
And then not as much horror, but it is horror. The Godzilla movie from Japan this year really showed.
-1.
I mean, that really did 100,000 in the U.S. box office. So.
Yeah. Damn, TK, you gotta watch Terrifier 2. You gotta see that, bro. That shit is incredible. I think they said they just wrapped on Terrifier 3, so I'm hoping we get that in the next year, man.
It's supposed to be out Christmas time.
This Christmas?
This Christmas.
Oh, awesome. Fuck yeah. I didn't know, because you know how after all the strikes and shit kept getting pushed back.
Yeah, I know.
That a very limited release, LA mostly, yeah. That's usually how it is. I don't know why.
Interesting to see what the runtime is on Terrifier 3. I don't think it's going to be as long as the second one. So
I doubt it. We might get 2 hours, but not. Whoa, that was like 2.5. 240. Oh yeah, almost 3. Yeah.
But it didn't feel like that.
Supposed to be in it. Yeah, that's why it's getting that Christmas release, because it's gonna have that Santa Claus, sweet ass poster of Terrifier.
Nothing says Halloween more than Santa Claus.
Who would your favorite character be besides obviously Jack Delroy? Because obviously he is my.
Well, Jack Delroy isn't my favorite character.
He's not your favorite?
No.
Oh man,
he's good, but he's not my favorite.
He just nailed the fucking like TV host so well. I just thought like he just nailed it, man. I love
I would say my favorite character was the girl.
the girl.
Now, very close second, and maybe even almost first would be the guy that played the Ian Brisk.
Mythbuster guy.
Yeah, Ian Brisk's character.
Yeah, was Ian Bliss is his name in real life, but
Right.
in the movie it's Carmichael Hay.
Yeah, he was great.
He's the
He might be my favorite. Yeah,
magician.
actually, I think I'm gonna give it to him.
Activities.
He was probably my favorite character in the movie. I love that.
I was gonna say if you're
the
going
girl
with
was
the
good.
girl,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I thought you were going with the girl, so I was gonna say him myself because that's
But you could say.
No, it's good. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, so the girl and him are both great. I thought Gus did a great job as well. Like
yeah, he was good.
Two.
Everybody did pretty well in that movie.
They really did.
Everybody pulled out the roles.
Even Lily's godmother or whatever, Madeline Piper, she was great. I think Christo did a great job as well. But I just loved Carmichael. How he was.
So we're still getting. I guess we're still getting a Halloween release for Terrifier 3. So that's cool.
Really? October. Oh, okay. Well, I have heard that some people like that. It's not gonna take like the entire thing isn't gonna be around Christmas.
No, no, I don't think it is.
But thoughts on Maxine trailer? I am so excited, man. I thought Kevin Bacon looks incredible for that role. I just love the entire atmosphere and vibe for that movie set in the 80s around the time with Night Stalker going around.
Right.
And
yeah, that should be good.
I am just so excited for that. I will be there like day one, no doubt. I am so excited for that. I love how each film is, like we're following this girl, but obviously Pearl was a prequel, so that's a different girl we're following than Maxine. But I love how like each movie felt so different. Like X is more 70s vibe, then Pearl was like, what was that, 19
back in the 30s?
Yeah, 30s.
And this
more
is
like
back
that
in the
Allison,
80s.
or more of that like Wizard of Oz-y type shit. And then Maxine is gonna be straight 80s, which we all love the 80s if you're a horror fan. Maxine, my most anticipated movie. Honestly, man, I'd say Maxine and Terrifier 3 are mine. So horror wise, but I cannot wait for that Planet of the Apes like in like a week or two. I'm so excited for that. But yeah, dude, what would your favorite like death scene be? Because we got a couple good. I know like they're not death scenes but practical effects type scenes, as we get Christo throwing up the black blood, which was great. The worm scene, obviously, where he's ripping his shit open.
Yeah, Carmichael's burning.
Kind of like a throwback to Poltergeist, except without it, not his face. He's just ripping his guts out.
Yeah, mine was probably definitely when the girl
head splits open.
Takes Gus, and he twists his head off, and then he crashes right into the coffee table. That was fucking awesome. So yeah, that was my favorite kill right there.
That was hilarious.
Even though it maybe didn't look the best, but it still was. It was good.
Yeah.
And then Carmichael going up in flames was good too.
Oh my god. Yeah, that was great as well.
I love his checkboard last.
Mine would probably be the worms, him ripping his guts out, because I was like, oh god damn. But I did love like the girl's head splitting open and just like that was really good. I thought the money that, because obviously you said they probably didn't have much. They didn't have much money for this. It's all based in one set. How much did this have? Well, they don't have a budget on here. It just has gross and opening weekend. So that's
and then you also have that because the ending is so surrealistic. You could also say that maybe it was all bullshit and maybe he just went fucking nuts and killed everybody with a knife on the set. I don't know. I have to go back and look when they showed that final scene. I think I have it on the opening. We'll have to look at it when we end it. Everybody's dead around him.
Right.
Was Carmichael? Was he still burned up or was he laying there?
Yeah.
That's the question I have, because if he wasn't burned up and he was just laying there, then it looks like maybe that he just killed them all. he went around with a knife and killed all the fucking people. That's what the cops are gonna think when they come in there.
Right.
Is that he did it.
Yeah, I'm debating. I might throw it on tonight and watch it because I watched it during the day, but I was in an all black room and I was so locked in. But
You can't.
I gotta watch this again.
The camera in that movie is an unreliable narrator, where you get these people are unreliable narrators. You can't trust what you're seeing through them. And that camera, because the way they rewound it and they showed that all that shit was bullshit, and what they showed you wasn't what was really being recorded, that you don't know if any of that stuff is real that you saw from the footage. Yeah. It could be all bullshit. So, and some of it, so it's just an interesting movie that could be open to interpretation.
Yeah. Man, we got a lot of these duo director and writer groups. Like the Abigail, directed by two people. This was directed by two people. I really think that's like kind of like a new wave, man. Like even like the Russo brothers, man, they did the best Marvel movies and they were a duo. I really feel like so many times, not to say that one person can't do it, because I mean, obviously we have great films that are done by one person, James Whale, William Friedkin, all these great, Scorsese, all these great solo directors. But a movie takes a lot of people. It's not just one guy doing this. So the movies that are done by two people, I don't know what it is, but they really seem to do well. At least I think they're always great movies. And I don't know, I think if two people can work together and direct the movie together, I think they usually come out with something special, man. And I think that this was definitely a really special movie, man. And definitely probably still my favorite. I still think I'd edge this a little bit over Abigail, just because it's so original. I've never really seen anything like it. You take like that segment in Joker with Robert De Niro and Joaquin on the talk show. You turn that into an entire horror movie with Paranormal Activity and all, and really film it like it's the 70s and not polish it up. But man, I was just so impressed by this movie, dude. So impressed. I really enjoyed it, man. And I was like, damn, bro, I'd have been watching
you've been.
This was a real late night television show. I've been watching Delroy over Carson, bro. I'm telling you, because guys like him, man, they were doing the more fun stuff, and they really had to push the limits because they wanted to beat out guys like Carson.
So there was a ton of these. Back in the 70s when I grew up, when cable was just getting going and all the local stations, the local stations had like versions of that show.
Right.
Because they were trying to go up against Carson, but there was no other, like you only had 3 networks. And 2 of those were showing movies at the time. Carson was the only thing that was really on for so long until you got like later on, you got a ton of them in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
But in the 70s, there was all these local ones. And the local ones were like this. It was like the Jack Delroy stuff, really off the wall shit, Almost kind of like what fucking Howard Stern was doing in his TV show in the 90s. Right. He had a TV show in New York that was just like this kind of stuff.
And actually, I was thinking this. I'm so glad you brought it up, Scarefear. Thank you. He says, I feel like the Don Post H3 skull mask in the audience was the devil in hiding, possessing the set, and the bald Anton. What was it?
Yeah, I noticed there was that devil mask in the audience.
I thought that was the way he just kept staring, you know what I mean? Right. He was sitting there. So I thought there was something very weird about that too. And I was like, is this, maybe like, like a devil on set or something? Because they always say that, the devil.
Yeah, I gotta get some Don Post shit because Trick or Treat just put up a Don Post skull I want to get because I think the Creep Show one is a wicked homage to like Don Post skull, but more elaborate, not as basic. I gotta get some Don Post masks.
Well, yeah, the Don Post skull mask was around way before Halloween 3. Like the skull mask and the witch were Don Post masks that were sold for years before Halloween 3. Yeah. The only one that was made for Halloween 3 was the pumpkin mask. The witch and skull masks were those are two of the most classic Halloween masks that were being made years before any of that stuff came out. But I love that. I always have loved that classic skeleton mask, and there's a reason that fucking thing has lasted for what, like 50, 60 years. I mean, whenever that was officially made, because that skull mask is just absolutely classic. I love the witch one as well. That is a set of masks I would die for. The Don Post skeleton mask, the Don Post witch mask, and the pumpkin mask from Halloween Season of the Witch. I want all three of those masks so bad.
Yeah, they're definitely cool. I love the basic old time masks.
Oh,
Real
yeah.
cool stuff.
Yeah, no, nothing's more old timey than those three. But yeah, I would love to get those three. I don't have any masks, sadly. One day maybe I'll try to start a little collection, but I'd love it. Obviously, Michael Myers, a classic one, but those three have always been three that I gotta get one day. Sucks too, because the rights with those, because I think Don Post, the rights go back to Don Post here and there, or his family members, that are still living.
I'd love to get this one, but it was sold out. That's a classic Don Post.
Yeah, that's a cool one. Don Post just did such great masks, man. Such great. And that classic vibe just never really dies, man. And if you look, you'll see so many. I mean, I've seen that mask in movies before too,
Oh, absolutely.
Those Don Post masks, they're you could see those cameoed in so many movies.
Well, this is the haunt one, devil mask. That's a good one.
Yeah. I love I love all those haunt masks. So I think they started doing masks for that from Spirit or Trick or Treat did some of those haunt masks. But yeah, so I get unless there's anything else you want to throw in there about this, you want to rate this?
Sure. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 4.75. I would have given it a 5. I think some of the effects were a little wonky, but 4.75 for me. It's unique. It's a great. I think it's a new classic. I really like it.
Yeah.
Good, great flick.
That's because I was curious what made you not give it a 5. Obviously, 4.75 is a fucking monster score. The effects didn't really bother me, so I think I'm gonna give it a 5. Honestly,
I'm pretty close to giving it a 5.
A lot of times these Shudder movies, man, aren't there. You'll be like, that was a great movie, and then when you go back and watch it, you're like, you kind of go down in expectation, like it's not as good. There's a lot of great Shudder movies, but I think this really might be like my favorite, if not top 5, man. This is one of the great Shudder original movies that they've done. Yeah, I think I'm going to give it that extra 2.5 and give it a 5, man. I really thought David Dashmalian did great. I just thought they really nailed the 70s vibe in this. Yeah, and the practical effects just didn't bother me. Yeah, I was watching that last night. I
was a little disappointed in Baghead. I thought Baghead was a little slow. I thought the beginning and the end is good. It just gets a little slow in the middle. But overall, I like
a lot of these Shudder movies we've been finding, because me and Scarpet have been diving into trying to watch a lot of the Shudder ones.
I started Hispanic, Satanic Hispanics today. I gotta finish it.
Me too, because that's that has like 4 directors in it, but one of them is Damien Rugna, who did When Evil Lurks and Terrified.
Because I think the guy who was in When Evil Lurks, one of the guys, is in his segment.
Oh, really? Oh, that would make sense. But dude, I just absolutely love this movie. But yeah, Shudder has that. Some movies are bought out by Shudder, buys them, but Shudder also does their own movies as well. So, and
Scared gives it a 5.
Hell yeah, 5. Contracts with the devil. All night, every night. I hear that. Yeah, Baghead. I thought it started off really strong. I got like a third of the way in it, and I turned it off because I was just dozing and I didn't want to. But yeah, I'm gonna probably finish that, and then I think I might throw Late Night with the Devil on. But yeah, Baghead, from what I saw, it definitely was worth a watch. Shudder, I think, is getting a lot better throughout the years because I've been watching Shudder since they came. I remember when Shudder came out, my Fire Stick didn't even have the app for a long time. And when it did, I was so happy. And I've been messing with Shudder for over a decade, and they really have grown. I know you have Screambox as well.
Yeah, Screenbox is okay. I mean, they got a lot of different movies
they're
on.
they're in the beginning stages of what Shudder
Right.
was like 10 years ago. I mean, Shudder was the first to do what Screambox is trying to do now. They have good older stuff, but dude, they don't have a lot of new like original stuff. They are
Right.
the one thing I could say Screambox is doing originally are those like horror documentaries, like the Pennywise documentary, the Living with Chucky, the Robo doc. So those are fantastic. But movie wise, I think they did claim Terrifier 2 as well. So that, that's a great one. But obviously, like, that's not an original. That's more of like,
Right.
the guy.
They're just independent films that they buy the rights to be able to put
Exactly. Kind of basically like Shudder, but I'm pretty
actually,
sure
I think
Shudder
no, I
does
think
a lot of their own stuff as well.
Terrifier 2 was actually brought to you by Bloody Disgusting.
Right, but yeah, I know Screambox also because I think
Right.
Bloody Disgusting and Screambox coexist together.
Okay.
So I'm pretty certain. But like Screambox had Terrifier, like they got the rights to put Terrifier on their app, which is funny because Terrifier 1 was on Shudder first before any other app.
Yeah, I wouldn't. You do get the Shudder movies do go on AMC Plus as well. But the problem with that is you don't get a lot of the old stuff. You probably get, I'm not even sure if you get Billy Bob on AMC Plus.
Well, yeah.
And the only thing you get on AMC Plus now that really is the fucking Walking Dead stuff, and not all stuff since it all pretty much fucking blows now. So
it's like the AMC Plus app? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I hope they don't. I hope they don't merge Shudder into AMC Plus.
I want to say though, mate.
I
don't know for certain if you buy Shudder, you should be because I remember when I had Shudder through Amazon, I would be able to watch
AMC Plus. No.
You don't. But the only thing I'd watch AMC Plus for is for the Walking Dead stuff. Other than that, I'd rather just have Shudder because I want to watch Joe Bob live. And
well, right now, fortunately, as I said, there's nothing on. Those aren't restricted. I'm kind of surprised the Walking Dead stuff is not restricted to just AMC Plus. I'm kind of surprised they didn't go that route. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a great movie, and I can be convinced to maybe if I watch it again, I might give it a 5. It's probably close to that. So.
Yeah, which we actually have a Joe Bob coming up this Friday on my birthday. It's like I think it's Witch Night or something because something's going on.
I enjoyed it. I like
annual celebration of Walpurgis, the Night of the Witches, will feature demonstrations of actual witch torture using Diana Prince as a human pincushion, plus 3 special guests and a kick-ass movie. Right. So I'm so happy. But wait. It does say actually. It says Friday at 9 EDT/6 on Pacific on Shudder and AMC Plus. I feel terrible with somebody else. So Joe Bob is on AMC Plus. I still would recommend just getting Shudder, but I believe I swear there's a way if you buy Shudder through Amazon, like you know how but you can't access the app, and if you have Shudder through Amazon, you're not going to be able to watch Joe Bob because you can't access the live. Then you can get AMC Plus, but I just rather have Shudder because, like I said, there's not much on AMC Plus.
Yeah, and I think I paid for Shudder for the entire year. I saved like $10 if you paid for the entire year.
Yeah, so. They're only I think they're $6 a month, but if you pay for them for a year, I think they're like $5.
Yeah, $5.
You save like $1. So I think they are highly worth. They are constantly putting new stuff on. Yeah, sounds like
maybe we'll do a watch party on Kick.
Yeah, maybe. Kick
this week.
Could we do that?
What?
We could put Joe Bob on Kick?
Sure.
Oh, okay. We'll do that then. I was gonna say if not, we just come in on.
No, we can do it on Kick. We can do it on Kick.
Yeah. I didn't know we could do that.
Yeah.
I didn't know we could actually broadcast Joe Bob. Yeah, let's do
that. Well, technically, we're probably not supposed to, but we.
Right. I don't think anyone.
Well, it's the Wild West right now on Kick.
Well, there's plenty we shouldn't do on Kick, but yeah. Yeah, that's
After
good.
fucking doing Two Guns Terra Firma, we're
Exactly.
fucking nowhere.
I think we're good. I think we're good.
They didn't fucking they didn't delete that off there. Nothing's gonna get deleted off there. So it's a wild west
Yep.
over there.
Finally hitting 21, Zach. Thank you, brother. But yeah.
Finally, the man can
Appreciate it.
drink.
Yeah.
God.
Oh yeah.
The way he's been sniffing, we know he can do cocaine. What, you got fucking snorting some lines over there, buddy?
Oh man. I know. I gotta hit the nose.
I thought I saw something white on your fucking mustache.
No, I don't do that shit. I just gotta. It's my allergies, man.
I thought it was like we were recreating 80s night tonight, and you know.
Or it's 70s night, baby. Where you gotta get that.
Let me show you one of my classic dollar bills rolled up over
Yeah.
here.
No, I just man, my.
I
got terrible fucking allergies.
Stored it in 20s, motherfucker.
Hundreds,
baby. Hundreds.
But yeah, so yeah, good. I'm glad you said that, Two Gun. We'll do a little watch party. You're gonna jump in with us, right, Two Gun? You don't even gotta show your face. Birthday wish right there, brother. Come join us for a few.
But you must talk.
But yeah, thanks, Scare Fear. I appreciate the birthday wishes. Yeah, so Friday, no better time. When I saw that, because I thought Joe Bob was doing it next Friday, but I forgot he didn't do it last Friday. So I'm glad we'll get a Joe Bob show on my birthday this Friday. That's fucking sweet. So I can't wait, man.
Yeah, if the movie
I'm not gonna really be doing much.
It's a real shoot the shit,
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not gonna be really doing much anyways. I'm gonna just be hanging out. I'll probably my birthday gift to myself is taking off work. You know what I mean? Thanks, Kev. Appreciate it, brother.
All right. Well, hey, thanks.
So yeah, 4.75 from you and a 5 from me, and what a Two Gun I think gave it a 4.25. Scare Fear gave it a 5. So hell yeah, man.
I just got scared shitless. I just for a second there, I thought this was fucking Friday night, and I had to go watch It tomorrow. Holy shit!
Shut the hell up.
Holy shit! It's Monday. I got a week. We're gonna watch.
You got plenty of time. Might as well watch part 1 and then part 2 in a couple of days.
Oh wait.
Yeah, wait. Bro, you've seen it. Haven't you seen it a bunch of
times? Not in a long time.
Really? Oh, I've seen it a bunch, so it's not.
No, I only saw it once when it aired.
Really?
Wow. Maybe once after that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, that'll be a fun show though. No promises, Dylan. Oh, you're something else too, guy. Mm-hmm. Which, speaking of, I forgot to message you because I've had a killer headache. Yes, the OG It, Zach. OG TV movie It by Tommy Lee Wallace. I got your package today, Two Gun. I did not open it because I am trying to hold out. Trying to really hold out. I got it just sitting there staring at me.
Open it Saturday night.
That's what I want to do because I like the reaction.
That way, if something pops out at you, you can see it on the air.
Yeah, you can see me shit my pants on live.
All right, so I guess it's done.
Yep. Tomorrow maybe we'll do Fallout Season 1 review. Sound good? So yeah, be on the lookout tomorrow. We'll probably do a quick little live for that. And like Scarpat said, we got It this Saturday, the TV movie, to finish our Stephen King month off. And we got us a great month coming right after May. I got us a lot of good stuff coming.
Let me just say before we check out, thanks everybody. I hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Thank you.
Today. And
fucking record timing too, man. This motherfucker was like a week ago. I just was like,
well, thank everybody watching my shorts. Everybody watching the channel. Didn't think I'd get up to 10,000 that quick, so thank you.
Dude, literally, I was just saying
10,000 is still fucking not monetized, but what can you do?
What can you do? You'll get there. But literally, a week, maybe 2, I was just saying congrats on 5K in record time. You just fucking got another 5K in fucking half. Like, holy shit, bro. Like I said, people wait. I mean, dude, that first 1K took you a few years to get, and now you've gotten 9K more in a couple months. Like,
actually, live total as of right now is 10,150.
Fucking killing it, bro. Fucking killing it. Literally, dude. You are slaying it, man. A round of a fucking applause for you, brother. You deserve it. All them haters, man. But I knew you had it in you. I knew you had it in you. So yeah. Be on the lookout for Fallout tomorrow for me and Scarpad. Download Kick if you don't got it. Yeah, it's Scare Fear. I don't know if you download Kick. Scarpad and I are constantly going live and doing movie watch-alongs if you ever want to tune in with us. Like you said, we're going to probably do some watch Joe Bob this Friday for my birthday. And we're always doing something Saturday. We've been doing watch-alongs on Saturday night after DHS. And then normally we're doing Kick on Friday night, but now we're doing it Sunday night.
No, Sunday night, yeah. So we're doing YouTube on Saturday, YouTube on Saturday night, and Kick on Sunday night.
Yeah. This Friday we're going to do Kick just because I'll be off because I'm going to take off for my birthday and for a special celebration. So yeah, we got some good stuff planned. Saturday, then right after the show on Saturday, a watch along on YouTube, which usually is a movie we pick from Shudder, which I have yet to reveal yet because I've been going through Shudder to find one. And then, do you know what we're doing this Sunday? Not yet. Well, but yeah, we got time we'll announce that Saturday or Friday or whatever. Yeah, so definitely some good stuff coming as always, man. Scarpad's always dropping dope ass shorts every day. So as always, I appreciate all you guys coming and hanging out with us. Thank you, and we will see you possibly tomorrow for Fallout. Peace out, guys. Thank you.
Hey guys, have a good night.
See ya.